Okay, I wanted to quick talk about a few items that you could send. Alright, I know that the last video was kind of long. I was having a hard time even concentrating because I was just, you know, blazing out there in the sun, and it's not even much better here right now. I mean, it's hot. It's probably gotta be like freaking 95. But I want to talk real quick about some of the things I mentioned that you could send. One being, you know, gallon jugs of water. Excellent. I mean, when you're working, you could wipe out one of these really quick. Two, the Luci Lights. This one I ordered from Amazon. Has it's the Luci Light 2.0. Has a little solar panel on the top, lights on the bottom. What's kind of cool about these is it's not going to show up, but there's a little there's two buttons here. One has a three LED light. It shows what the state of charge is, which is kind of useful. And then this button here, this one has I think it's 3 modes: low, medium, high, and then blinking, and then off. This one was 20 bucks when I purchased it on Amazon. This one I got at Walmart. I actually have 2 of these. I added these. They don't come with the little carabiners. These little carabiners added on from these are Harbor Freight carabiners. It's a good way to be able to hang them on various different things. But this one also has the battery indicator or charge indicator on it, and then it has a button where there's a low, a medium, and a flash. There's no high. And I mostly run these on the low setting anyway. When you run them on the low setting is when you get the most amount of runtime out of them. It's really not necessary to run it on the medium or high unless, you know, medium maybe if you were trying to read, and high if you're maybe trying to work on something in the dark, you know, repair something or work on something delicate. But these things, absolute best light source that you could send to the islands right now for relief. These are both 2 years old and going strong, and you can recharge them during the daytime and use them at night every single day. Don't have to worry about batteries. Another thing that I don't think I really mentioned before, but indispensable, 5-gallon buckets. I'm on a sailboat, and I probably have 4 or 5 of these buckets on my sailboat. These two right here, this was originally the reason I had these two. This is my washing machine. Wash my clothes in one, rinsed in the other. Soapy water in one, you know, fresh water in the other, rinse them out. 101 uses you can use these 5-gallon buckets for. And I got these are actually Pickle Buckets. These are from what is it, Firehouse Subs. You can purchase these from them. They're much cheaper than if you went to your local home goods store like Home Depot or Lowe's and bought them new. You could buy these for less than with tops, for less than what you can buy the bucket at Home Depot or Lowe's, and you're recycling. You know, I mean, so it's a win-win for everybody. So I would urge everybody to go buy these things from Firehouse Subs and donate them to the islands, because not only can you use them for washing your clothes, you can use them for washing things down. You can use them for mop buckets. You can use them for carrying debris in. You can use them for carrying tools in. I mean, there's just so many uses for a 5-gallon bucket. Heck, even in a pinch, you could use it as a toilet. You wouldn't obviously want to have more than, you know, a dedicated one for the toilet thing, but so many things you can do with a 5-gallon bucket. Another good thing, hat. I mean, it's smoking outside right now. The sun's blazing. A good wide brim hat like this is ideal. Now, this isn't the perfect one because, I mean, it's a good hat, but it would be better if it had ventilated holes in the top. This one does not. You build up a lot of heat. You heat loss from the top of your head, under your arms, your groin. That's usually where you generate the most, or your body expels the most amount of heat from. So if you had a nice wide brim hat like this with ventilated holes in the top where the heat could escape and not cook your poor little brain, that would be great. Sunglasses would be a great thing you could send too. Work gloves. Let's see. I even started making a list here. Let's see. Tents. They don't have to be big, extravagant things. I wouldn't send like single man tents, but you know, I'd say like 4-man tents, which I wouldn't want to sleep with 4 people in, but a 4-man tent would probably be the ideal size to send. They're small enough where you can carry them around, and you know, you can still have some room and you keep you out of the elements. Oh yes, where is it? Oh yeah. Sorry. Insect repellent. Oh my gosh. The mosquitoes up around Green Turtle are no joke. I'm not kidding about this. As soon as the sun goes down, they come out, and they come out with a vengeance. I grew up in South Florida. I've spent my early youth hunting in the Everglades. That's probably the only place that I have ever experienced mosquitoes on the scale of what they are on the north end of the Abacos, up around Green Turtle. I mean, they are ferocious there. Insect repellent, excellent thing to send. Tarps, of course, you know. Wheelbarrows. I mean, that's kind of hard to get that stuff like that shipped over on small boats. Maybe some large boats could bring some wheelbarrows. Those things are freaking invaluable for moving debris around, as are a lot of the 5-gallon buckets. These things work great for moving. You know, you can haul debris off in them. Axes, not double-headed axe, but single-head axe with the blunt side and the other side is kind of like sledgehammer. Those are kind of work good for demolition, not so much for chopping down trees. You know, people were, you know, chainsaws can do a lot of, you can do a lot of work with a chainsaw if you have fuel and 2-stroke oil to keep it running. But in lieu of that, you know, some tree saws, hand saws, even hand carpenter saws. Somebody had donated some of those hand carpenter saw after Andrew. I still have those things. I mean, I still use them today. As a matter of fact, I have one here on the boat that I got from Hurricane Andrew in '92, a hand saw, and I've used it for little projects here on the boat sailing. Gloves, work gloves. You know, that's a nice thing to have. It's not a necessity, but it certainly is a nicety. Nails, if you want to send some nails, you know, I've seen some requests for battery tools and screws. It's a better way to build stuff, but I'll tell you what, a hammer and a 16 penny galvanized nail, you can cobble, you know, some structures back together pretty well with that. Staple guns with galvanized staples. Shovels. Flat-headed shovels are probably the best because you can use that to tear roofs off with, shingles off roofs. You can use them for cleaning up concrete floors inside the house. You know, it's better than a round-headed shovel. About a spade shovel. The only thing a spade shovel would probably really be good for is either maybe moving large piles of sand or you know, digging cat holes for latrines. Rock rake. Don't send leaf rakes, send rock rakes. You know, if you don't know what a rock rake is, Google it. It's a heavy tined rake. Those are great for cleaning up debris. Those leaf rakes, forget it. Don't even think about a leaf rake. Brooms are another good thing for sweeping up. Yeah, bleach. If you're gonna send bleach, make sure it's non-scented. Bleach is good for, you can use it to sterilize plethora of things. You can use it for making water more potable, you know, killing bacteria and whatnot in water. But yeah, short of like those items, you know, if somebody really wanted to make a donation, you know, I mean, there's solar power that you could donate small solar plants, like a 200-watt solar panel with a 100 amp hour battery and just an inexpensive PWM pulse width modulated charge controller. you know, you could run a small, when I say small, like a few 100-watt small inverter where you could charge up some battery tools. You could charge up a cell phone, or you could charge up a sat phone, or you could charge up even a VHF handheld. And this is something else you could send if people would have a way to be able to charge these back up. That's the problem, is there's no power. So it's either going to be generator or solar. But if you even sent a handheld VHF radio, which is the way people communicated a lot in the Abacos via VHF radio, this would be good for island communication. You know, people could communicate, although the freaking radio frequency, or the radios, the bandwidth would get freaking used up really quick. Maybe that's not just the greatest idea, I don't know. But I mean, you certainly wouldn't want to send or just hand these out to anybody and everybody. But yeah, I could see where this handheld VHF radio could keep people in communication better. Certainly could help coordinate drop-offs from land to shore, and even work crews, you know, working on shore could use these to stay in touch with one another. So yeah, that's those are some probably the best things I could think of off the top of my head real quick that you could send to the Bahamas, especially the Abacos. Be good. Peace out.